So basically you were saying like to buy land and to like become a partner on like a development, it's 8 to 18 like a sales cycle process, a long time, because you gotta get the property rezoned, right?
Well, so um like let's say you find a piece of property that you're like, hey, it like for it's vacant land, or maybe it is it's got a single family home on it or something, and um it already has a certain zoning with the city,
Yeah.
right? It's zoned for X. And so like sometimes it's zoned and saying like, hey, it's zoned and you can put 4 townhomes on it, right?
Yeah.
But maybe the property is big enough to support 8, right? And so like you can go to the city and you can have a conceptual site plan and say like, hey, this is what I want to do with this property,
Yeah.
right? This is why I want to do it. It's going to create more homes for the people that live here, blah, 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 blah. So you now get it approved instead of 4 for 8, right?
Yeah.
And then once you go through the approval process, you can sell that to a developer, you can partner with a developer, you can, because you control the dirt,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
control the contract. And so there's a myriad of different exit strategies, but you've just now added so much value, right?
100%. Yeah.
So, but what's great is you didn't do anything, right? Like you didn't build it. You didn't like, all you did was go through a political process and get it entitled for something that it could be.
Yeah. 100%. And do you
So
buy these properties usually like cash, or like do you offer like a like creative like a seller finance, like down payment, so you don't like get decapitalized that much that soon, so you pay like across, I don't know, more months or something? Is that something like common?
that's a good question. So there's a ton of different ways that you can do it, but what's really nice about it is that a lot of times with wholesaling and buying cash, you're going to these property owners and you're offering them pennies on the dollar for the
Yeah.
house,
Uh-huh.
right? And so what's great about this is that you can go to these homeowners, these landowners, these people, and you can pay them market value for the property, because you're like, hey, this property may be a diamond, right? And I'm willing to pay you exactly what it's worth, but as long as you can give me the time to find out, to pay you that.
Oh, wow. I love
So
that. So you don't pay like just like sign the contract, have this long like close of escrow, and give you like, I don't know, 3 months to try to figure out if this is a real path or there is not. So you don't really like invest with that high of a risk. By the time you invest, it's like for sure it's going to like there is something that we will profit from this.
yep. And so you basically kind of, it's not a JV, like you get it under contract, but you
Yeah,
have a long due diligence period.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. And
yeah.
then you double close.
Nice. I
Yeah.
love that.
It's cool.
Wow, I'm pretty impressed. I mean, I wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah, it's cool. So the reason kind of this all came about though is that so we're trying to grow, Jerry and I are trying to grow 2 sides of the land business. Okay.
Okay.
So one side is the active side, which is going and finding like infill lots, finding vacant land, finding just stuff that's not necessarily has development potential, but that
Okay.
we're buying cheap and then selling it on the market with a
Okay.
realtor. Okay. And
Okay.
then that takes anywhere from 30 to 120 days. And so that active cash gets to support us and our business while we're working on the other side of the business, which is the development projects that are going to pay way more, but they take a lot longer.
Okay.
Okay. So we're wanting to build out both of those. And I would say that we both, like I always say, Jerry's probably more of the visionary dreamer than I am. I have visionary tendencies, but I also have like, I'm really good at transaction. I'm really good at paperwork. I'm really good at lending. I'm also I'm good at cleaning lists, and I'm a numbers person. Like I'm an underwriter. So like I have a lot of jack of all trades, I guess you could say. But with land, it's very data intensive. Okay. So
100%. Yep. Yep.
it's even more data intensive than like single family, like crazy amount, because
there's
Like
less like there's less subjective things, right? So it's easier to scale the numbers, like how much are the lots within like smaller than 2 acres being sold for, so you get price per square feet and those things, so you can run
correct,
calculations. Yeah.
correct. Well, and the thing with it is that you a lot of it is mail, direct mail.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I was
So
actually thinking, by the way, small parentheses, if so I don't forget. Sorry, I apologize. Have you seen in the Subto group that people were posting like Jerry Norton's like a direct mail campaign? So it
mhm.
was like a check and then like a letter. I think that could be pretty dope. Like just like a number and like hey, and you can even set like a like a contract. Like I will buy these for these, blah blah blah.
That's exactly
Let's
what they do.
jump. Let's call and let's jump on a call and discuss the
Yep.
like the loan closing or something like that.
LOL, they send land offer letters.
Okay.
And so there's different types, right? So you can send these offer letters that have a price, but then you can also send a blind offer where it doesn't have a price. Like it's like a neutral offer because you don't want to like,
But overcommit or
well, no, not
something or what?
that, but you don't want to turn off the seller,
Okay.
right? So there's a lot of different things, but so I guess the point is, so like let's say you have a county, right? And there's 10,000 pieces of vacant land. Okay. You really have to, there's different softwares. One of them is Parlay 2.0.
Okay.
Okay. And it's an overlay on Google Earth.
Okay.
Okay. And you you have to clean you have to clean a lot of this stuff. Like it's not like a easy, simple like it could take weeks before you send out your mail,
Okay.
right? From buying the list, overlaying it, cleaning it, and then getting it ready to be sent out.
Okay.
Right. So because some of the parcels that you pull are not going to be good fits, right? Like they're not, like they were just purchased and they're in like a new subdivision, or they're just not good fits, right? So you want to disqualify stuff, but then you also want to overlay it with MLS comps, like
Okay.
comp, so you can see like, oh, this is available, and then this one just right here sold for X. So you're really able to put together like what your offer and would be, right? Like based on data and like how many days it took to sell. And there's just a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it's very data intensive on that side. And then on the other side with the development potential, what's cool about it is that you can overlay. So every city has what's called a future planned use map.
Yeah.
Okay. Like they basically went through and they said, hey, this is how many new homes we want. This is how much industrial stuff we want. This is how much commercial stuff. And they've literally told you where they want it, where the development places are, like where the city's growing, where the new utilities coming, where the new water. So you can overlay a GIS map with the future land use map, and then you start like sniping.
Yeah.
Right? Like you get like, you go find your needle in a haystack. So that's like, so one is like kind of mass mailing, and
Mm-hmm.
one is like being very targeted and calculated.
Okay.
Right. And
Yeah.
so the gist of all of this is that we're building this out and we're looking to work with an integrator that can we're not really sure how it works yet, and we're not like, we're having conversations to kind of see what that would look like, and if other people have done partnerships like that. Because I know like with some integrators, they like build out they do certain projects, right, with other people and build certain things out. And so that's kind of where we are. We know kind of what we want to do and where we're going, but we're kind of trying to figure out what makes the most sense and how we want to do it and how we want to build it out.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm pretty excited about this. Sure, let me I can give you my probably 2 cents on like which type of integrator you should be looking for. And then like if you were to build the system, some things to consider or some things that you could ask your integrator, to see like, is this person the right path? So sorry. This is 100% data intensive. So you need to have like 100%, you need to have someone who knows how to code or knows how to it knows how to code and knows how to hire developers, just to have like their type of VAs. It's not you don't need someone fancy from San Francisco paying them 200,000 per year, right? You can just have someone from Venezuela, from Mexico, from wherever. But you need someone to can be like a product manager to them, so they can tell them like prioritize the features, be like, I need you to connect these. For example, we have this given list in the database of like, well, I need all the vacant lots into a database, and then I need like for each lot, get me comps, and then I want like nearby attractions like stadiums, hospitals, universities, like get me like by distance. And by doing that, you gotta connect with like Google API. So for every single address, you search like nearby things or businesses or malls or whatever is around there, so you can get like highlights of the place, right? And then you can prioritize those and those things. So you definitely need someone who knows how to code. The programming language most used for managing data is Python. So go with someone who knows how to use Python because it's pretty scalable. You can play with I mean, if you go with one county, that's nice, and that should be like your proof of concept, pretty niche, pretty targeted.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
We want to do just one county and build out the systems and processes around that one individual county, and
And then
then
you can scale that out.
from there.
If you want to scale that out, that will definitely become big data, and the path to get there is Python. So if someone tells you like, oh yeah, I know how to code in PHP or whatever, is like, this is not scalable. I mean, this will limit me to one county, and then I will have to start all over again to go like to statewide or like multiple cities. Nationwide will be pretty crazy, but let's say like statewide. Because there is just so much data, and because you want to be like a sniper and not just be like blasting and investing like 100,000 per month in direct mail as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Mail's expensive. So
yeah, mail. So you have to be really targeted, really like intentional of why you want to spend like 8 mailers to this house, considering that each mail will be like, I don't know, like $1, right? So that's one thing. Python developer can hire more people to speed up the process, so you don't wait like 6 months to see like the MVP. It's like, how can we build like the basic workflow within a month? Like, I want to send the first mailers in a month. Might not be the like best data, the richest data, but I want proof of concept of the whole workflow. But then I want to be targeted, like, give me the 100 best properties, vacant lots, like what inputs do we need to add? And then, so that's like the overall that you gotta look for. For the direct mail, you gotta integrate with the mail house, so you don't export an Excel, map the fields, and they get the tracking, those things. Ideally,
that's not too difficult. It's more just like the steps before that, right? Like cleaning all of it.
But ideally, I mean, if someone can clean the data, they just connect directly to the direct paths, right? And because the good thing about that is that if you have everything through a single like automated workflow, you keep track of all of those things, like how many direct pieces of mail have been sent to these, unique QR codes, if they scan something, if they call, like, you will be linked to them, which piece of mail have you sent them, like, was a mail delivered, was it returned? Like, if it's returned, like, send like a Slack message or something like, hey, we need to update the mailing address for this piece of land because we got it wrong. So the seller moved, seller died, seller something. So like the direct piece of mail are not being delivered. And that should happen automatically, like this feedback loop. So that's really important when you get like integrated with a direct mail. If you want to get specific, I mean, I can get specific, like which direct mail I choose, yes, or APIs, but that's something like more for the integrator. So that's overall to send the pieces of mail, and then the second thing, like to overlay the future like use plan map. That's also through systems. I mean, the maps usually have this like visual, and that's what we see on the website, but they also give you the document with the coordinates and everything, so you just gotta like get reference, right? So whenever you pull the list, you also use like Google API to get the coordinates, and then you like the systems will only be playing with the coordinates, right? Like get distances, get things, and get like everything like through that. So yeah, that's probably what you gotta do. Find someone who kind of understands. Also, like if you can find someone in the real estate world already, that would be dope, so they can tell you like, oh no, what you're doing is not the best path. I mean, I understand the goal, but let's do it this way because it's more efficient, because they know the tools, right? They know like where they can design their own process as long as they achieve your goal, right? So that's the goal. You like someone who can be like like develop the whole plan. Because if you get someone who can be like you don't want you want a missionary who understands the goal. You don't want a mercenary who will go and execute whatever you tell them to do, because you might be wrong. You know,
Right.
your view is more oriented to other things which you're good at. And then if you get a mercenary, they will execute on what you're looking for. And if it's wrong, it might be like a huge failure and
I get
spend a
exactly what you're
couple
saying.
thousand yeah, $1,000 like to the trash. So you definitely want a missionary who can jump on board and be like, okay, I'm here for the long run. I understand what you're looking for, and let's build one block at a time. Now, Python, someone who is in real estate, in someone who's in real estate will have enough like knowledge to build the system, you know, who can kind of understand both worlds. What I'm saying is like, do not go on Fiverr and get someone from Pakistan to build the whole thing out, you know, because that there is a huge risk. Get someone who understands, and then they can hire someone from Pakistan or whatever, but you need someone who can take ownership on the technical like aspect, you know. So yeah, besides that, I see it 100% doable. A lot of things to play around. For example, once you have enough data, you can build things to attract young talent and interns and different things, and be like, hey, I want you to build an AI model to determine which property has the highest probability of being profitable or accepted the offer, right? Based on location, based of how many years have been owned, has it been like was it transfer, like family transfer, comms, like you can take so many variables, see which ones are correlated with the um, main result. So you can run like a function. It will tell you like these 5 variables have the highest impact with the result. And then you can focus on those variables, you know, and be like, okay, so properties with the highest chance of being sold have been owned between 7 and 15 years, for example. And there is nothing around there, or there is something around there, you know, you can get those specifics, and then you niche down the data, and then you become a sniper, and then you scale that niche down like a focus to other counties.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we're on the same page. It's just, and that's kind of who I thought. I was like, we need integrator, because there's different types of integrators, just like there's different types of visionaries. And it's like, we need an integrator who can write code, who can scrape data, and like who like is very like numbers and data oriented. Because it's, to me, that's what this is it's like looking at macro data and then like bringing it down, like niching it down to like really finding the leads that are going to like be your sellers.
Yeah, 100%. So I will risk to say. Like, you might not need, I don't know, I get a feeling that you're an integrator, probably not technical, but you are a structure, and you can run Excel and understand things and like if you can handle paperwork, you definitely have like a structured brain. Um, you might not like integrator, like most people get this in the same place, in same bucket, but usually the integrator is someone who can design the processes, like the business processes and workflows, and we'll do this, and this, and because of this, and then we will test this out. We'll send this budget to this person and this payroll. Whereas someone like a developer might not be the best person to design your payroll system. It's like, I don't know. I don't care. I mean, I can solve the technical challenge for this specific project that you gave me, but not the overall business structure, you know?
Mhm.
So a lot of people, for example, in Subto are really good in creators, so they can design like the overall process. They have no idea how to implement them, which is fine. And they just go and find someone who can implement them technically. um, so you can also decide like, are you going to find an integrator, or you are going to take that role and just find someone who can take all the technical side of the business, right? But you are like these, um, you'll be the one prioritizing which features, how, why, and make sure that the other things in the business doesn't drop, because someone who is going to be coding, they're going to see like a dark page, and just coding and building things and testing things. They will not be reviewing which contracts are being sent, which was the money wired to them, like when is the close of escrow, what happens if we need to cancel escrow, they will be on the computer coding.
So
So
I really don't want to cut this short, but I have like one other call right after this. I was like kind of trying to push it off as long as possible. I would really like to continue this conversation. If it works for you. I really have enjoyed talking to you. Um, I think you're right. I that's who you're talking about is exactly who I'm looking for.
yeah.
So it's just finding that person, right?
Yeah. And doing so, yeah, I know you gotta go. But also do some like dating period with them, and see how they, like, if they actually enjoy like this type of data, this outcome, these like there is some purpose of the project. So you can truly find that missionary, not the mercenary.
You don't know anyone like that, do you?
I do, but I need to ask around. A lot of them already like have W2, like work for Meta or Google or different things. It's like, if they will be willing to take a risk on that.
Well, no, yeah. No, I just didn't know if you knew anybody who is like maybe in real estate and kind of doing that with well, and it might be something where it's not a primary position. It is just like doing it on the side in addition to the W2. But
Yeah. I mean, with code, I mean, it's like you definitely need someone who can invest more than at least 4 hours per day, every day.
right,
You don't want someone who will be in your team like 2 hours per week. They will get nothing done, nothing.
right.
Uh, 4-6 hours per day minimum. So someone who is invested, who can truly see some benefits, some profits, and see some things, because it's a large project. A lot of things
Mhm.
to connect before you can see some results. Um, but yeah, don't get someone who is like in a lot of things.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed meeting you. I would like to let's stay in touch.
Yeah, 100%. And
Yeah.
good luck, and I'll be around.
Thank you, Armando.
Bye.
Bye.